everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert. Today we have returning to us Shadi Khalloul. You may remember Shadi from his appearance with us in a January 10th episode of the Red Alert. Shadi is an Israeli citizen. He is an Aramaic Christian with generations, thousands of years of personal family history in the region. He is the president of the NGO, the Christian Aramean Society of Israel. He's also a reservist in the IDF, and he is passionate about his community and his country. And our talk with him in January was a huge success. We had a lot of people click on it, and we wanted to bring Shadi back to update us on what's going on in Israel as a whole and in the north and in his community, which is dealing with a lot of pressure right now with the threats coming from the north. Shadi, welcome to our program, and thank you for coming back to see us again. I really want you to just share with our audience from your perspective, which is credible and well-reasoned and personal and firsthand, what's going on in Israel as a whole. Just give us a brief idea of what Israelis are dealing with as they have multiple fronts of hostility. And our news here in America doesn't always cover the grand extent of what's going on.
Thank you, Amy, and I would like also to thank the audience for supporting your program, which is a very important program to expose the truth about and reality about what's happening here in the ground in Israel and the threats that Israel are facing from different fronts. And as a head and president of Israeli Christian Aramaic NGO, and having Aramaic Center that is focusing on these type of issues about our community and at the same time integrating our people within the state of Israel, I can testify that we are actually facing the hardest time ever since I remember. I was born in 1976, and it's actually the strangest feeling that I have ever feel in my life. And I am Israeli IDF officer. Mm-hmm. I am a Christian. I am an Aramaic person. I speak Jesus language. We are descendants of the early Christians of this land and the Holy Land, and we still speak this language. And I never thought in my life that we would reach this point where a community and my family and my people and Israeli state would be facing such a threat like we are facing today. It is something that no sovereign state can accept. It's a situation where sometimes you feel your hands are tied, where you cannot act as you should act in order to defend your own country, your own existence, and your own people in this country. That's the feeling. That's the feeling because the threats are now, which was built around us by Iran, led by Iranian regime, which is Islamic radical regime, a Shia Islamic radical regime, led by Khamenei back then. They are trying to export the revolution, the Islamic revolution values to other parts of the world and include Israel, include Lebanon, include Syria and Iraq. So they got Iraq in their hand, they got Syria in their hand, they got Lebanon, the only Christian country in this region that was founded by Christians back then. They got it in their hand, and now the turn of Israel. So they built a ring of fire around Israel. They built Hezbollah in the north. They built Hezbollah in the Golan Heights, another front. with another Shia militias. They built another front of the Houthis in Yemen. They built another front in Judea and Samaria. They are trying to incite other Muslims there to rise up against the state of Israel and start also attacking Israel from that part, attacking Tel Aviv, attacking Jerusalem, attacking communities in the near the borders like Farsaba, Ranana, all those communities and cities that are close to Judea and Samaria, where let's call it borders, which about 10 kilometers, which talking about 7 miles on distance. Okay, so we are having also a Gaza front that also built by them with PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and the Hamas. And we saw what they did in October 7 with the atrocities, with the genocidal actions against civilians, innocent civilians, against women. And it's a woman day today. It's a Woman Day, and I should say Happy Women Days to you and to all our audience too. That's what they did until today for those ladies